The Viking Burger here at Braden's Pub and Grill certainly looked impressive, and I can't wait to see how it tastes. This is a lot. I'm thrown off mostly by the pretzel.
Yeah.
When I tell you this, man.
We call it, obviously, in our menu, it's the giant pretzel, but lovingly as a staff, we call it the BFP. I'll let the community think about what that actually stands for.
Yeah.
So
this is massive. Tell me, I mean, as far as like adding this to your menu, tell me about that thought process.
Well, I mean, we just wanted, obviously, something that jumped out at people that says if we were going to do a pretzel, let's do a big pretzel, and we want to do it right. And we felt like this pretzel kind of provided two elements that were important to us, where it had a nice crust on the outside, which is a little more firm for texture purposes, but more importantly, it's very soft in the middle. So, and it feeds, you know, more than just one person. So if you're looking for a shareable that you could share with friends and family, you know, this is one of those items that gives you that chance to do it. And I'll tell you what, it's a hit.
This is a big appetizer.
Yeah, it's a meal. I mean, we try to warn people like, hey, you know, how hungry are you?
Yeah.
But the great thing about this, and we've learned this just from experience, even from our customers telling us, you could take this thing home, take your oven to 350 degrees, pop it in for 5 minutes, and it tastes just like it did coming out of our fryer.
We're very close to Augustana College.
Yes.
We're right smack dab in the middle of Rock Island. You know, tell me a little bit about how Brandon's fits within the community.
Well, we like to be connected to the community. You know, I love to see that a lot of locals and regulars and patrons, and I always hear when I first opened this place up, I would touch tables and ask them wherever they were from in the Quad Cities or Rock Island area. I always heard the same answer, and it was up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. And I started to think, man, this is a really big hill, you know, because everybody lived up there. And, you know, but we were very fortunate because you got to come down the hill or go up the hill to get back home. So being on an island next to Augie, it served two purposes. One, we could be connected to the Rock Island community. And the second, we could be obviously connected to the college that's right next to us. And a lot of those students, they are out of the Chicago area.
Okay.
So we've been able to give people coming from out of town an experience that's local to us, obviously,
right.
but to them over time, if your kid's here for 4 years, you become local.
Right,
And,
exactly.
and then we're not married to the fact that we're always gonna have that customer here week in, week out, but we make sure we take care of them when they're coming with their families or see their kids for sports.
Right.
We're very connected to the sports community here.
Okay.
And then when they're gone, obviously, the school's out of session, it's important to us to stay on a local level and stay connected to those people that live in this area. And we've established a great rapport with them.
That's fantastic. So we got some wings in front of me here, and I'm seeing a variety of sauces. I'm gonna jump in here. This looks kind of like a classic buffalo.
That's your classic buffalo. So as you're eating those wings, I want to just kind of talk or touch on our process of how we make them that makes them unique. A lot of times you order some wings and you can have a good experience or a bad experience just simply on how they're prepped prior to going into a fryer. We do something called blanching, and what that does is it actually gets that wing prepared to serve to you by actually dropping it in a fryer, reducing our cook time when it's actually ordered. Then we actually cool it to room temperature, put it into our walk-in cooler, and then prep it as it gets ordered later on in the future. But then you're able to actually keep the expansion and the growth of that wing on there where it's nice and fluffy, it's not dried to the bone,
Sure.
keeps its flavor and holds its sauces. So you've got 4 flavors you're looking at. You've got the buffalo, obviously, that you're diving into, and we have our Brandon sauce that's going to be here. Yes, and that's 3 elements in there. Serrano pepper sauce, you've got A1 and sour cream. And I know it sounds a little crazy when you separate the two, but when you blend them, you can put it on our wings, you can put it on our burgers. It's just a great house sauce, and you can even dip it in fries.
It's got that complexity of the steak sauce, right?
Yes.
And then the pepper is certainly there. It's not like a big popping, big old.
Sure.
But it's enough to, you know, it's enough to warm you up.
Yep.
And then the nice creamy finish.
Yes, exactly.
Is there as well. Let me try one more wing here.
Please do.
Okay, what do we got? This is
That's going to be your garlic parmesan there, which is great, and then your teriyaki sauce.
Teriyaki. I'm gonna try the garlic parm.
Yeah, go for it.
That sounds great. Now, we're close to a college campus.
Sure.
Is this kind of a nightlife spot as well?
Yeah, we do get some of the college crowd, especially like on a Thursday night. It's more of our college night. And then if the kids are waiting to maybe go somewhere else on the bus, well, we don't have no problem flagging them down and say, come on in, guys. So, you know, and then especially during like post or they had a weekend or a long night out with their friends, et cetera, on a weekend, you'll have a tendency to see them here on a Saturday at 11 a.m. sharp, looking to get some hearty food to kind of get over that hangover, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Dad.
And that's just part of the college community.
It is. We expect it. We embrace it.
Have a good place to have some good food.
Yeah. I mean, we have a Viking challenge that kind of speaks or pays tribute to the Vikings over there at Augustana. That's their mascot. All of our colors and everything that we've done with our scheme is also, again, in an effort to communicate and work in tandem with the community of the college around us.
You're part of the community.
Yeah, we want to be a part of the fiber of that college and the community around it. So our Viking, we have a Viking room behind us. It's an auxiliary building, if you will, for private parties and events.
Yeah.
It's great for college students when they come in, if they want to have towards the end of the year and their parents not being from town, and they want to do something with their kids here, they can, and they'll rent out the place, And we don't make it to where it's not affordable. It's
right.
a $250 minimum spend, and that's just, whether it's for food and drink, it all goes towards it.
It all goes towards, so you can reserve the space for $250.
And that's already taken. If you pay for food and drink and you get to $250, the room costs you nothing.
Okay, so I've got the Viking Burger. I saw Andrew putting this together.
This is the Viking Burger.
This is the Viking Burger.
So this is important to pick up on. This is one. If you were to do our Viking Challenge, you would be eating what's equivalent to 4 of these. So if you can't handle Viking Challenge 1, which is the Viking Burger, you may not want to graduate into our challenge, which is the 30-minute challenge. Yes.
30 minutes
stacked up.
4 of these.
30 minutes to eat 4 of those stacked up on top of one another. Not to mention you have a pound of fries that you have to eat, and all under 30 minutes.
This is a fantastic burger.
Glad you like it.
This is very good. But it's also gigantic. The idea that somebody's putting away 4 of these, that's crazy. We heard about the Viking Challenge. One of our producers said, you should really try them. Maybe we can try.
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
This is a lot. All right, let's finish it up here with, what do we got here?
This is our hot Italian beef.
Hot
Italian beef sandwich on a hoagie bun. It's got your provolone cheese. You've got your giardiniera. It's a little spicy.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, you got your au jus sauce that you could dip that in. And then your standard American French fry.
No, this is fantastic. I love the spice. I love the au jus. I feel like there's something else going on with this au jus. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, it is our, I count on our chefs back there to be as creative as they possibly can. That's a homemade au jus sauce that we make. Sometimes I don't even know their secrets. That's how secret they are. You know what I mean? So it's fun to kind of let them do their thing and spread their wings back there and be as creatively as you possibly can. I'm very open to new ideas and new concepts. Sometimes we'll do a feature on a Friday or a Saturday night, and if it's something that goes well, we'll adopt it to our permanent menu.
It's so surprised that all of this food is fantastic. I see everything that's back in the kitchen with Andrew. There's a lot of fantastic food that's coming out here.
Presentation being one of the things that we like to focus on. We like to wow you with the size of our food. That's why we went with the giant pretzel versus a pretzel bite. You know what I mean? You get the same mission accomplished, a pretzel's a pretzel, but is it really just a pretzel? So we wanted to kind of give that wow factor with everything that we do, and more importantly, make sure everything tastes good.
Oh, well, I am wowed for sure.
Hey, pleasure to meet you again, man.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, you bet.